From Detroit's University District, this is your Daily Detroit for Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. I'm Jer Stays.
And I'm Cheyenne Noserini. Let's get into what to know and where to go around Metro Detroit after this. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Milo Digital. Milo Digital is a full-service digital marketing agency that engineers quality results through data and innovative strategies. Learn more at milodetroit.com.
Finally, at long last, there will be one United bus fare card in Metro Detroit. It's going to be called DART and will work on both Detroit's DDOT and the suburban bus system, SMART. The new blue and white cards will launch May 1st. DART passes will be available in 4-hour, 24-hour, 7-day, and 31-day increments. This will eliminate transfers and streamline the number of fare options between the two systems. The new cards will also have a tap-to-pay feature where you can just wave them right over the fare box. A DART mobile app will be available this summer. The plan is for this to expand to the Q Line and Detroit People Mover, but a timeline hasn't been given yet. So now you will buy bus fare much like on, say, the Q Line, where it's for a block of time instead of paying 25 cents for a transfer. Here's how that'll work. With the new system, it now costs $2 for 4 hours and $5 for a full day on the bus. A monthly pass that works on all systems is $70. Reduced fares will continue to be available for people with disabilities, Medicare card holders, and youth.
This is so great, Jer. Before I had a kid, I used to take the bus all the time to and from work, and it really should have happened years ago.
Didn't you have to take like 2 buses on the Woodward? Like you had to transfer at the state fairground, right?
I did because I worked too late in the evening. I would have to.
And when we say too late, it was like 7 o'clock.
7
or something.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes, that's too late. In quotes. So I would take the DDOT from downtown Woodward up Woodward, get off at the state fair, and then pick up a smart bus to take me from the state fairgrounds, which is at 8 Mile, to 9 Mile.
This is part of what that fast bus helps solve, right? Like that's why that was such a great innovation, and it's seeing ridership go up. Go figure, you send buses out on times when people actually need them and people use them.
Right, exactly.
Staying with transit, could a high-speed rail service be viable between Detroit, Ann Arbor, and Toledo? The Toledo Blade is reporting that a study delivered this week to the Toledo City Council says that setting up a fast passenger train service running at 110 miles per hour on a T-shaped network linking the 3 cities would likely cost about $524 million. And it could even turn an operating profit, attracting more than 5 million riders a year. It could also help with the road funding issue, as it costs less to do this than plans to widen freeways. It's an interesting idea. We'll have a link in the show notes to the full report. So there's a wild video making the rounds online showing a tow truck running into cars and a woman breaking the driver's side window of that tow truck with a bat. So Cheyenne, you dug into this story to figure out what really happened.
I did. So things often get shared online without any context or any new or more information. So I decided to really dig into this.
And before we get too deep into this, we're not including audio of the incident because we try to keep it clean language-wise here on the podcast. And frankly, the audio is rather disturbing, but we do have a link to it in the show notes and on dailydetroit.com.
So here's what I was able to find out. The tow truck driver lost control of his truck early on Wednesday morning and the police report said it was at 1:30 in the morning. He then hit 7 cars along Grand River and wound up in front of Views Bar and Grill.
So that's Grand River and I believe looking at your report, Telegraph.
Yes, Telegraph. Then he kind of got swarmed by a bunch of very angry and possibly intoxicated bar patrons.
It was a crazy scene. And the video caption itself actually alleged the tow truck driver was intoxicated. What did you find out about that?
That's really what interested me the most, because that's a pretty big allegation. So I contacted the Detroit Police Department and they got back to me. And when I asked if the tow truck driver had been impaired, they said no. I also spoke to the manager of the tow truck company, and he said that the driver was given a breathalyzer on the scene and he was cleared and was not intoxicated.
The video was pretty gnarly. There was broken glass everywhere. Any update on that?
When I spoke to the manager, he said that he took the driver to the hospital afterwards because the woman did break the window with with something. He said it was a bat. And so therefore the driver got cut.
Well, it's a crazy scene. We have a link up there. Here's the deal, people. Take care of each other. And that was not the way to solve this whole situation. And we just wanted to make sure to dive into it because these are the kind of things when you talk about Facebook and news, you need context. You need a little bit more research. Cheyenne, thanks for doing this work.
Absolutely.
The Michigan Science Center is offering free general admission this Saturday, April 20th, to celebrate Earth Day. Throughout the day, there will be live stage shows, plenty of hands-on exhibitions, and Earth Day activities. Are we going to plant trees or something?
I don't know if they're going to plant trees, but they have some pretty exciting stuff happening.
Pretty cool. So this free day is being sponsored by Denso. And here's the deal. You cannot just show up. You need to go ahead and pre-register to be admitted into the Science Center for this because otherwise it could be just a crazy field day. We will have a link to that in the show notes. It'll be a fun time. And you're the parent in town. Are you excited about this one?
Absolutely. I always love taking the toddler to the Science Center. Do you think you have what it takes to be a Wheel of Fortune contestant? The 27-foot Winnebago Wheelmobile will be making a stop at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater on Saturday, May 18th and Sunday, May 19th. They're on the hunt for show contestants from Metro Detroit.
Now, the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, that used to be Shane Park, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Here's what you need to know. There will be a total of 6 shows during the 2-day event. Anyone who is interested in playing Wheel of Fortune can fill out an application 1 hour before each show begins. Then the shows will take place at 12 p.m., 1:30 p.m., and 3 p.m. each day. The Wheelmobile host will then pick contestants at random to do a short interview and play a version of the Wheel of Fortune speed-up round. Anyone who comes on stage will be considered to be a future contestant on the televised show and could be contacted at a later date. You'll also walk away with some Wheel of Fortune swag if you get on stage. We'll have a link about the Wheelmobile in the show notes.
I wonder if there will be a puzzle for Pat Sajak about climate change. A former sand and gravel mine will become a new off-road vehicle park, and it's looking for a name. Here are some of the details in case you didn't know. The new park will be in Groveland and Holly townships and will be jointly run by a collaboration between the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Parks and Recreation Division, and the Oakland County Parks and Recreation Commission. Back in 2017, the DNR purchased 235 acres with the help of a $2.9 million grant, and earlier this month, the Oakland County Board of Commissioners approved a 20-year operating agreement with the DNR. The park will be open to all types of off-road vehicles, including full-size vehicles, side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, ATVs, and motorcycles. So if you ever had that dream of flipping your Jeep, here you go. It's planned to open in the summer of next year. So here's where you come in. The Michigan DNR is looking for a name for this park. We'll have a link in the show notes for where to submit it. Just be sure to get the ideas in by April 26th. I don't know if they're going to go for Gravel McGravelface.
And with that, I'm Cheyenne Noserini. Thanks so much for listening to the Daily Detroit podcast.
And I'm Jer Stays. Take care of each other, and we'll see you around Detroit.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.